सदाशिवसमारम्भाम् शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय मृत्यवे ब्रह्म विद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च। We need to resume with the 10th mantra, 2-3-10. Let's chant that. यदा पञ्चावतिष्ठन्ते
यदा पञ्चावतिष्ठन्ते
ज्ञानानि मनसा सह
ज्ञानानि मनसा सह
बुद्धिश्च न विचेष्टति
बुद्धिश्च न विचेष्टति
तमाहुः परमां गतिम्।
तामाहुः परमां गतिम्।
So, mantra number 8, Atma Alingaha. Atma has no attributes. Therefore, the question comes, if Atma has no attributes, how can I see, how can I hear, how can I smell, I can't touch it, and how can I even think of it? Because even to think of something, that object must have attributes. Okay? So therefore, Alingasya darshanam upapadyate katham iti uchyate. Number 9. Number 9. There, Hrida Manisha Manasabhikritaha. The mind that is focused on this particular subject matter, that is what is needed, he says. And he continues to say, Yetad viduhu amritaha te bhavanti. Previously also, amritatvam cha gacchati. That's so amritaha keeps saying that. Then the next question is, okay, how can I get that kind of a mind? Sa hrinmanit katham prapyate iti tadartaha yogaha uchyate. I hope all of you are following me, right? So that is a Sambandha Bhaashyam of this current mantra. So that hrinmanit, manit means buddhi. So that buddhi which is situated in the heart, because heart is easier. All feelings are all at the heart level, not at the head level, even though the brain is here, the mind is here on top. So that is traditionally said in the Shastram. So that buddhi, katham prapyate, how can I get that mind then? That kind of a buddhi, intellect. So then this mantra was said. We saw that pancha avatishtante yada pancha jnanani, pancha jnanendriyani, okay, pancha jnanendriyani, along with the mind, manasa. So manasa. And then buddhi also is mentioned. Buddhischa na vicheshtati. Cheshta. Cheshta means activity. It is activity. No, it doesn't engage in any activity. We'll see later. Shankara will tell. Activity means what? An activity, anatma activity. If I want to know Atma, I have to not engage in Anatma. It's as simple as that. If I want to go to Delhi, I can't go to any other place. There are the millions of places in India, but I can't go there. Why? Because I'm going to Delhi. As simple as that. So, na vicheshtati means not blank mind. So that also we'll see shortly. So what happens in that case? Tam ahuhu. Did we chant tam or tam? I hope I tam. Because last time I think I made a mistake.
We said tam. We said tam.
Okay, okay. So tam ahuhu paramam gati. Because gati is trilingam, So therefore tam. Very good. So let's study the Bhaashyam. यदा यस्मिन् काले
यदा यस्मिन् काले
स्वविषयेभ्यः
स्वविषयेभ्यः
निवर्तितानि
निवर्तितानि
आत्मनि एव
आत्मनि एव
पञ्चज्ञानानि
पञ्चज्ञानानि
ज्ञानार्थत्वात्
ज्ञानार्थत्वात्
श्रोत्रादीनि इन्द्रियाणि
श्रोत्रादीनि इन्द्रियाणि
ज्ञानानि
ज्ञानानि
उच्यन्ते
उच्यन्ते
अवतिष्ठन्ते
अवतिष्ठन्ते
सह मनसा
सह मनसा
यदनुगतानि
यदनुगतानि
तेन
तेन
सङ्कल्पादि
सङ्कल्पादि
व्यावृत्तेन
व्यावृत्तेन
अन्तःकरणेन
अन्तःकरणेन
yeah. So yada is very easy. All our Sanskrit students know what yada means because that is the first thing we teach them. The yada and all, when and all that. We have to start. So after my name is so and so, we start. Very soon thereafter, this yada will come. Because yada, when, then, yada, tada. There's somewhere in this, there must be a tada. And sometimes tada is missing and we have to just supply. So here I don't see a tada, but it's understood. Tada is understood. So yada. So Shankaracharya says, yasmin kale. See how nicely he says. He doesn't have to say that at all. He doesn't have to say that. But he is saying it for a reason. Yasmin kale means at that time, at which time, okay, means what? At which time? So we have to supply a lot here because this shloka number 10 and 11 is talking about dhyanam, is talking about nididhyasana. That's it. Over two mantras, that's all. And Upanishad assumes you know all these things, we know all these things. And so that Yasmin Kali, therefore, he's expanding. Shankaracharya is expanding, and we have to also supply. Each word has to be expanded. And so this sixth chapter, it's good to have this book, this Bhagavad Gita booklet with us and be ready with the sixth chapter. Because sixth chapter is what? Atma Sanyama Yoga. So that's where Dhyanam and all was talked about. And uh, so this Bahiranga Sadhanam, Antaranga Sadhanam and all was talked about. So if you look at, that is the meaning of Yasmin Kale. At the time when the person is as a focused mind. So why? How do I get a focused mind is a question. When the person has a focused mind is what Upanishad is going to say. Which means what? All this yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyanam, samadhi. Means except for samadhi, everything yada, when the person is prepared with all these things, he doesn't need to be told all this niyatam niyatam kuru karmatvam karmajya yohya. karmanaha, like that, all those things, third chapter, need not be told. Because yama niyamadi is all taken for granted. That is the meaning of Yasmin Kale. Okay, let's see here. So look at this. Bhagavad Gita, 6th chapter, first shloka to 9th shloka. All prepared this. Bahiranga sadhanam is there. Okay, so 6.8. Jnana vijnana triptatma kutasto viditendriya yukta ichyutyate yogi samaloštashma kanchanaha. Samaloštashma kanchanaha. The person begins to understand that, hey, between the stone and a piece of gold bar is valuable, all right. In Laukika Vyavahara, it's valuable. Don't throw it away. Don't buy gold and then throw it. Don't do that. But still, everything is Brahma. That is going to be very clear. Samaloštashma kanchanaha. That is with respect to all things out there. Then Suhrun Mitra Judasina Madhyastadveshya Bandhushu. 6.9. So with respect to people also, my deeply entrenched ideas of differences in people. On top of that, all this religious differences, country differences, nationality differences. On top of this, varna differences are all there. They're all meant for a purpose, but we grow out of that purpose. Means the purpose has served itself. Therefore, Suvran Mitra Udasina. So therefore, that vision is also there. This is all Bahiranga. Okay. Then Antaranga Sadhana. Okay. So 11, 12, 13, 17. Look at that. Shuchau deshe pratisthapya sthiramasanam. We've done that. Meditation. How to sit, what location to choose, and how to stabilize the breath. Prana, pano, samau, krutva. All these things are coming. 11 is that. 12. Upavishyasane yunjat tatraikagram manah kritva yatachittendriyah kriyaha. Ekagram manah kritva. Sitting there in that posture where the body is erect, Krishna is saying on that. He doesn't have to say that also, but he's saying that. And focusing the mind, keeping the mind calm. And let thoughts come. If thoughts, unwanted thoughts come, let them come. Don't fight it out. If you fight it, what will happen is you'll get trapped. Okay, you'll get trapped. Just let it go. Yeah, just smile at the thought. Thought will go away. Thought will go away. All that he talked about. And 13, Samamka Yashiro Grivam Dharayannachalan Sthiraha. Kaya Shiro Grivam. So the neck, head, and Kaya means the torso is erect like this. Dharayannachalan Sthiraha. Sthiraha. Okay. Samprekshanasika swam Dishasjanavalokayan. Even in our meditation, we have invoked these slokas. So all that is given. Yada yasmin kale. That is why Shankara is actually translating the word yada so that we don't take anything for granted here. Okay? And he's going to explain a little more also. So yada means what? Asana. This is Ashtanga Yoga. Not asana. What is this? Yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyananantaram. Because he's going to talk about samadhi. Samadhi will come. And so that much preparedness is there, which should be there by the time we come to Upanishad, according to the Upanishad also. Therefore, dasmin kale, at
Guruji,
that time.
Guruji,
Ah,
this is like Ata Shabda, Ata Brahma Jignasa, like that. Because after having understood all that, then you do the Brahma Jignasa. Something similar.
yeah, there we say adhikaritvam. Adhikaritvam is there. Yeah, you can. Yeah, adhikaritvam is there. Okay. So, correct. So then what? Panchajnanani. Panchajnanani, Shankaracharya is saying, this Panchajnanani are Shrotrādīni Indriyāni. They're all your sense organs, like ears, etc. And he's saying, Shrotrādīni Indriyāni Jnānāni iti uchyante. You can put the Jnānāni within quotes. And these Shrotrādri Indriyāni are called Jnānāni because Jnānārthatvat. Because they are meant for gaining knowledge of the outside world. Whatever we know of our world is through the sense organs only. Sense organs only. And because of all the inputs that we receive through the sense organs. And therefore, you can call them as Jnanani. Jnanendriyani is fine, but you can call them as Jnanani. That is what Upanishad calls them in this mantra. Jnanani iti uchyante. And they are what? Pancha Jnanani. Pancha Jnanendriyani. Shrotradi. Then what? What about them? Svavishayebhyaha nivartitani. This also you understand. Svavishayebhyaha. Each sense organ is going to operate in a particular realm that nobody can touch. Nobody has access to that. And even if they have access, they can't do anything. The ears cannot see, and thus the nose cannot taste. And so this is all very, very distinct. So Svavishayebhyaha, from their respective fields of operation, objects, okay, that they are supposed to grasp, okay, they are meant for that. And Svavishayebhyaha nivartitani, nivarti. So retreating from them, not operating, not doing their usual jobs. Okay. When these five sense organs stop doing their usual jobs, that's why during meditation, we just close our eyes because eyes are a very big distraction. You don't have to close your eyes during meditation, but it's going to be difficult. It's better to close the eyes. That's it. Fewer stimuli, better for meditation, for dhyana, better. And but as you get better, you might be able to ignore the stimulus that comes in. Like ears. Ears also. Slowly you get used to ignoring this hearing in meditation. Birds are chirping, people are talking. You don't pay attention to what they're talking. Initially, it will go, the mind will go there. Because that's how the mind is. Not used to dhyana. And then it will, when every little sound, it will begin to analyze and all. Oh, people are talking. Who is that person? Oh, that person is come. Oh, it's time to walk right now. 6:30, they go for a walk. Like this, the mind will go. So, Vishayebhyaha nivartitani. When they are withdrawn from all those activities. And so there also, look at this. Sparshan, Bhakyan, Bahikritva. Where is that shloka? Come somewhere here. Bahir Bhakyan. So that comes under fifth, I think. Yeah, the last few verses of the fifth chapter, which introduces the sixth chapter, correct? Look at that. 527. Parshan Kritva Bahir Bhakyan Chakshushchaivantare Bruho. So Bahir Bhakyan, this is a very important step in our dhyanam that we say. Before you get into the topic of dhyana, you first look at all the things that are very important to you. Family, children, parents, everything. And then make sure they're not pulling me right now. So acknowledge all of them. Yes, I am aware of all of it. For the next half an hour, you just stay away. I'll come back to you. Like that, I have to tell myself. Then only they will stop bothering me. Otherwise, all these things are waiting to get my attention. So that is what he's saying here. 27th shloka. Sparshan Yutva Bahir Bhahyan, etc. So all those things we have studied. And so those things can be recalled here. Okay, Svavishayebhyaha nivartitani. Then what? Avatishtante. Avatishtante. Okay, that is still in the first quarter of the mantra. Avatishtante. Manasasaha. Avatishtante. Tishtante means staying. Avatishtante. Properly staying without They're not going anywhere. They're not aching to go out and do their jobs. They're just relaxed. They're just staying where they are, not operating unless I ask them to operate. Avatishtante, avarakshane. Look at that. Shankara is our Yama is saying avatishtante, avarakshane. Rakshane in the sense of protection. Okay, because this whole pursuit is meant for my protection, meant for me. So when they remain quiet, when they abide in their own places, and they are there, they're there. They're not uh, they're not distracted, they're not we call that agitated. Manasa saha. Manasa, along with the mind. Okay. Because by itself the sense organs may be quiet, but the mind is the one that's going to be, it's going to run amok, it's going to run wild. Mind will not say. Therefore, manasa saha yad anugatani tena sankalpadi vyavruttena antakaranena. Let's look at that. Yad anugatani means that mind which the sense organs follow, anugatani, jnanani, panchajnanani, these five sense organs follow the mind. And so, along with the mind, the sense organs which follow the mind, that's why mind also is important in this. Tena, tena, tena. Tena means manasa. That manasa is tena. By that mind, which the sense organs follow. Okay? And further is explaining what the mind is. Okay. Sankalpadi vyavruttena antakaranena. Okay. Manasa means antakaranam is manas. Therefore, manasa is antakaranena. Okay. And a mind which is vyavruttena. Vyavritta means free from sankalpadi. Because what is the definition of mind? Sankalpa vikalpatmakam manaha. So sankalpa adi. Adi means vikalpa. So always providing options and creating doubts. Creating doubts. That is the function of the mind. And so sankalpa adi. Free from all the usual chatter, usual turbulence, the usual activity of the mind. Okay. And then we have one word in between that we did not look at. So you're watching, I hope, right? Atmani eva. We didn't look at. It was there right in the beginning. Atmani eva. Before Panchajnanani. Correct? So Atmani eva. So where do these sense organs settle down? Mind is settling down. You're saying, where can they settle down? Atmani eva. In Atma alone. Okay? In Atma. But the mind is always there in Atma. The sense organs are always there in Atma only. Where else are they? They are not there somewhere floating around. Hey, if Atma is everywhere and everything is in Atma only. And so, Matstani Sarva Bhutani. Matstani Sarva Bhutani. Krishna says, hey, everything is in me only. Like that Krishna had said. So, Atmani Eva Sarva Bhutani. Okay. And so that is very clear. The Upanishad does not have to say that. So here, in Vedanta, the way we interpret this statement is Atmani is Atma Vishaye. Atma Vishaye means what? This is huge. This is huge. Means in a mind that entertains only thoughts about Atma. Thoughts about Anatma are filled in my mind. Now I have come to a point where I can spend some time. I can spend some time, like in this class itself. In this class, if I'm able to sit in this class for an hour, it means what? It means my mind is already focused. It's able to focus for an hour plus on this only topic of art. It's able to focus. So that much dhriti I have, that much composure I can enjoy. Otherwise, it's impossible to sit. Impossible. And so, therefore, this interpretation is so important. Atmani eva. It's easy to say everything is in Atma. So let the sense organs and mind settle down free of chatter in Atma. Hey, whether they are chattering, they are in Atma only. Not chattering also, they are in Atma only. So that can't be the meaning of this. Okay. And so a mind that entertains thoughts about Atma. Okay, so Atmakara Vrittim Anutishtade, that mind, okay, Anuvartate. Swamiji gives an example. He says, you go to a good program, music program. You come back home and your mind is still there. Aha, that song, this song, that raga, he just, Hindolam, wow, how nicely he brought it up. And then so the mind is still there. Mind is still there. Like that, like that. He gave a talk, just 1 hour public talk. It was just fabulous. You remember all these things he said? Yeah, I remember everything. It was just so gripping. I could not take my mind away. I followed every sentence he said. That's it. That is the manasa saha indriyani avatishtante. Okay. And suppose somebody asks you, what is Vedanta? Can you tell me briefly what Vedanta is? Suppose somebody does. We must be able to say, Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. Yeah, it's useful to, it comes in Vedanta Dindima, written by somebody, Shankaracharya, I think. Vedanta Dindimaha. See, these things, Upanishad and all won't say, we all want some bullet points, We like some nice things to remember. That's what our mind wants. And Upanishad is not like that. It's just going all over, just like that. We have to get the essential messages. So look at this. Brahma Satyam, that Satyam, we have to know Satyam. That is Brahma. Jagan Mithya, it's Jagat Mithya. Everything else, everything that I know is Jagat. That Jagat is Mithya. Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya. Then what about me? Am I part of Brahma? Am I Jagat? Who am I? Okay, I'm Jiva. That much is there. So what about Jiva then? Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaham. That is this. Jivo Brahmaiva Naparah. Means that Jiva is not separate from Brahma. Not na Aparah, not separate. Brahmaiva. So this is Vedanta, in essence, which is elaborated in Bhagavad Gita, in Upanishads, everything, different parts. Some Upanishads will choose to talk about Brahma Satyam more. Some Upanishads will talk about Jagan Mithya even more. And some Upanishads will talk about the creation, how the Jagat came from Brahma. So there is a creation aspect in some Upanishads like this. The Jiva is also there. Like this, various aspects Upanishads can highlight, or it can include all. Okay. Generally, it will include all, but highlighting what? So anyway, that kind of thought surrounding Brahma Satyam Jagan Mithya Jivo Brahmaiva Naparaha. That is the Vedantic thought. Everything else, the entire Bhagavad Gita, any shloka you can pick up. And Kshetrajnam Chapi Mam Vidhi Sarva Kshetreshu Bhar. You do not have to recall Shuchau Deshe Pratisthapya Stiramatma. That posture of the body and all you don't have to think about because that's done. Yasmin Kale. So when all those things are taken care of, and Nididhyasanam is what? What is the purpose of Nididhyasanam? This Viparita Bhavana Nivritti. Shravanam, Jnanam is already gained. Shravanam. Jnanam is gained only through Shravanam. Mananam strengthens what I know, solidifies what I know by removing all the doubts, samshaya and vrittihi. Then what is the use of nididhyasanam? No new knowledge is going to be created in nididhyasanam because for pramanam is required. There is no jnana pramanam in nididhyasanam. I know enough now. I've known enough and now I've understood a lot. Write down those statements that I understood. What are the statements in the Bhagavad Gita, the Upanishad that are just ringing true? Ringing true. Write it down and then think about that. Think about that in this particular state of jnanam. That is called nididhyasana. And so that is what is required. So that these Vedantic thoughts, if we can use that word, allowing the mind to roam free in that soaking in those Vedantic thoughts. Okay. Taking one thing at a time. It's not like you're talking and it's just going all over, not like that. But taking a few things, few ideas, and then like Kshetrajñan Chapi Mam Vidhi, like any of the things we have looked at, and then you stay with that. You stay with that. Stay with that one idea. Okay. In a lecture also, in a talk also, we are staying with one idea. We are going along systematically. We are not randomly walking around. We are following Adi Shankaracharya. So there is a particular order, staying in that order. So there also in dhyana, we stay. We stay with a particular topic, particular mantra, and stay with that mantra. Okay. So, of course, dhyana is different from a lecture, from a talk. Okay. But I'm saying that focus is there even in this talk. In this 1 hour, the focus is there. In that half an hour, 1 hour also, focus will be. All right. So, having said that, then let us read the next part of the Bhaashyam. Buddhihi cha
Riji.
Buddhihi cha
च
adhyavasaya lakshana
अध्यवसाय
lakshana
लक्षणा
na vicheshtati
लक्षणा न विचेष्टति
स्वव्यापारेषु
स्वव्यापारेषु
न विचेष्टते
न विचेष्टते
न व्याप्रियते
न व्याप्रियते
ताम् आहुः
आम आहुः
परमां गतिम्.
परमां गतिम्.
Yeah. So the remaining, this third quarter, the second half, Shankaracharya is talking about buddhihi cha na vicheshtati. That is the statement. So buddhihi, Shankaracharya is defining adhyavasaya lakshana. Buddhihi. So adhyavasaya means lakshana. The buddhi which is characterized. Lakshana means what? Defined by, characterized by, known to us as, which has the attributes of, defined by. Okay, so I will say characterized by. What is the character of buddhi? Adhyavasaya is character. Adhyavasaya means the nature of determination, ascertainment. Okay,
Nishchayatmaka.
Nischayatmika buddhihi. Tattva has said that. Okay, ascertainment. So, vyavasaya, adhyavasaya, all these are related words. Okay. So, uh, vyavasayatmika buddhihi. Ekeha kuru nandana bahushakaahyanam tascha buddhayo vyavasayinam. So there in the second chapter, I think, right? So we saw that. So that nisyatmika buddhi. So buddhi of that nature that we know already. And na vicheshtati does not do its job. Its job also, buddhi also has a role to play. But no, it doesn't really play a role unless I ask for it. Unless I ask for it. And in Nididhyasanam, you only recall what you know. You really only recall what you know. The buddhi will help me, of course. And so, but it's not trying to bring everything and trying to analyze everything. Okay? Because Shravanam is over, Mananam is over, then only Nididhyasana. So, na vicheshtati. So, Anyavacho vimunchata. Undaka Upanishad says, different language. Anyavacho vimunchata. Give up all these other things. Vachaha, it says. All this talk here means thinking. All this thinking about so many other topics that are there. Just let go. Let go. Otherwise, what happens? Meditation, dhyanam. When you get to meditate well, you know what will happen? Suddenly all good ideas will appear. You'll get, I could have talked to that person. I think that's what I should do. Suddenly good ideas will come. How to solve your usual Loikika problems also, and you will get better at it. So at the meditation time only these ideas will come. And so, no, not engaging in that kind of vyapara. Look at this. Svabhyapareshu na vicheshtate. Yeah, svabhyapareshu. Whatever the buddhi is used to doing, svabhyapara na vicheshtate. Does not stray into the typical activity of the buddhi. And buddhi and mind constantly working together, and which means na vyapriyate. Vyapara. So the vyapara, when it is converted to a verb, it becomes vyapriyate. So prudhatu, Sanskrit students, prudhatu, this vyayame, vyayame. व्यायाम के अर्थ में उपयोग करना चाहिए prudhatu को vyayame. So any kind of activity, you use the prudhatu. And the pru dhatu always comes with ang pratyaya and vi pratyaya. Vi a pru vyaparaha vyapriyate. In other words, the pru dhatu does not come by itself. That's very unique about this pru dhatu. This is all for Sanskrit students. All right. So then what? When the buddhi also is like that cooperating, then tam ahuhu paramam gatim. Tam sthitim, that particular state of mind where the mind is soaked in thoughts of Atma. Look at that. It's not a thoughtless state. It's not a thoughtless state. Thoughtless state also you can get into. It's not difficult. Once you practice, you will get into a thoughtless state. You'll get into it. There are times, that's why what they do is, they will ask you to chant a mantra. Om Krishna Yanamaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Then what happens? Slowly increase the gap. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Then slowly increase the gap. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Om Krishnaya Namaha. Why? Because it's a beautiful technique. That gap, the gap is initially small, so you don't allow any other thoughts to come. Then as you get better, you increase the gap. Increase the gap. Increase the gap. Then after a while, you'll find that the gap, no thoughts will enter in that. The true silence will be there between the two chants. That's why chanting japa is such a beautiful technique to calm the mind. So these techniques are, people use that. And so thoughtlessness can happen. Krishna Yanamaha. Thoughtless. So once thoughtlessness is achieved, the thoughtlessness is not useful anymore. Why? Because thoughtlessness is not the goal. The goal is moksha, which means jnanam, which means ajnana nivritti has to happen. So that mind is used for nishtha, used for soaking in all the things I've learned in class, all the things I've been thinking about during the day, that to assimilate all of that, that time is going to be used. Therefore, but most of the people think that samadhi means nirvikalpaka samadhi, which means removing all thoughts from the mind. Correct. Nirvikalpa samadhi means that, but that is not the end game. If that were moksha, then what? Suppose removing all thoughts from the mind is moksha. Then what is the problem with that? What is the problem with that?
Moksha is lost when the thoughts come back.
You can say, I was in moksha for 25 minutes. I had moksha today. How many minutes moksha you had, ma'am? So like that, I can ask you. So all of us can share every day WhatsApp message. Today morning, 15 minutes moksha. Moksha definition itself is gone. Jivan Mukti gone. Going to heaven gone. And this new definition of moksha has come out. So that is why, okay, you can enjoy your thoughtless state, but that our sannyasis will laugh at all this. You go to traditional people and talk about all this, they will just laugh at us. And so here, tam ahuhu paramam gatim, atmani eva, when the mind is enjoying the thoughts of atma, recalling the knowledge, recalling the facts about atma, which is myself, then that gati, that sthiti is called paramam gatim. Ahuhu means they say, the they is not mentioned here. And so rishayaha, yoginaha, because the person who is where is it? Next mantra is coming, I think. Yogaha is being said in the next mantra. This particular, the name of this Nididhyasana is Yoga. Rather, the word yoga is given by Yama to refer to Nididhyasana. Next, it's going to come. So we can say Yoginaha. Yoginaha tam sthitim paramam gatim iti ahuhu. That's the way to complete that sentence. So therefore, what is the summary of this mantra? A, there is an abhyasa that is talked about, an exercise called nididhyasana, where you have to, it's a particular exercise, it's a particular occupation, one has to do it. And so that samadhi abhyasa rupa nididhyasanam, Swami Paramarthanandaji and gives that word. And Maniprabha also says that. And so Samadhi Abhyasa Rupa Nididhyasana. Why did they say Samadhi Abhyasa Rupa Nididhyasana? Because last time I mentioned there is another type called Brahma Abhyasa Rupa Nididhyasana. Suppose somebody can't sit like this for various reasons. Physical reasons might be there. Can't sit like that. Then what? Or somebody likes to do Shravanam. Shravanam itself can become Nididhyasana. Or Brahmabhyasa. Last time I mentioned the definition. Tat Kathanam, Tat Chintanam Cha, Anyonyam, Tat Prabodhanam, Tadeka Paratvam Cha, Yadeka Paratvam Cha, Brahmabhyasam Viduhu Bhudaha. We saw that. So that is Brahmabhyasa. We love Brahmabhyasa because it brings us back to focus. It doesn't take us astray. Brahmabhyasa. Because that Shravanam is constant. Shrotabhyaha, Mantabhyaha, Nididhyasa. So that is Brahmabhyasa. This is Samadhi Abhyasa. Samadhi Abhyasa. Just for our information. So that was indicated in this mantra number 10, which will be continued in mantra number 12 also, 11 also, the next mantra. And with that, Paramapada Praptihi, Paramagati Praptihi, Phalam is mentioned here. All right, let's look at the Anvaya. Yada Panchajnanani यदा पंचज्ञानानि मनसा सह आत्मनि एव अवतिष्ठन्ते, आत्मनि एव in brackets, comma, बुद्धिः च और बुद्धिः न विचेष्टति च, बुद्धिः न विचेष्टति च, मनसा सह आत्मनि एव अवतिष्ठन्ते, कॉमा, बुद्धिः न विचेष्टति च, तां परमां गतिं ऋषयः आहुः. Paramarthanandaji says ऋषयः. तां परमां गतिं ऋषयः आहुः. यदा पंचज्ञानानि मनसा सह आत्मनि एव अवतिष्ठन्ते, बुद्धिः न विचेष्टति च, तां परमां गतिं ऋषयः आहुः.
Guruji, 1.3.13 also talks about the same Adhyatma Yoga in Kata.
1.3.13.
Yached Vanmanasi Pragnastachet Jnana Atmani. Jnanam Atmani Mahati Niyachet Tadyat Chet Chanta Atmani.
Okay. Yeah, correct. 1.3.13. All right. Next mantra. Same topic. Therefore, Shankaracharya does not give a sambandha. Tam yogamiti manyante.
तां योगमिति मन्यन्ते
Sthiram indriya dharanam.
स्थिरामिन्द्रियधारणाम्
Apramattastada bhavati.
अप्रमत्तस्तदा भवति
Yogo hi prabhavapyayau.
योगो हि प्रभवाप्ययौ
Tam yogamiti manyante.
तां योगमिति मन्यन्ते
Sthiram indriya dharanam.
स्थिराम् इन्द्रियधारणाम्
अप्रमत्तस्तदा भवति.
अप्रमत्तस्तदा भवति
योगो हि प्रभवाप्ययौ.
योगो हि प्रभवाप्ययौ.
So, Sthiram Indriya Dharana. Same thing that was mentioned in the previous mantra, where Panchajnanani Manasa Saha Avatishtante was mentioned. Now, Indriyas are all steady, including mind. They're all steady. Steady means they're not just running amok. They are there within my control. If I decide to bring in some thought, I will decide that thought will come. That is called Sthiram Indriya Dharana. And so, in the another reference is the 6th chapter. Look at 25th shloka. 25. Atmasamstam. See, Shanai Shanairuparamit Buddhya Dhriti Grihitaya Atmasamstam Manah Kritva Na Kinchidapi Chintaye. Atmasamstam Manah Kritva. Bring the mind back to the topic of Atma. Okay. Na kinchidapi chintayet. Na kinchidapi means don't think of anything. That is one meaning. But here our meaning can be don't think of anything, but then come back to the topic of Atma. Okay. That is the idea there. So same thing here also. Last mantra also, same reference can be given. So when the mind is absorbed, when the sense organs have stopped their activity, you don't need the sense organs anymore. Only mind is needed. Doesn't matter. We are not going to hear anything. But hearing also is possible because now you heard something. Panchadashikara says you hear. There is a type of nididhyasana where you allow the mind to be where you are and then you heard something. Then you say, hey, that sound is also mithya. The source of the sound is also mithya. The bird is also mithya. The sound is mithya. How is the sound mithya? Hey, the sound is mithya because it simply waves and that's just coming and hitting your ear. And the satyam of the sound, if you analyze, it will come back to Brahma. Sound is also mithya. Then my ear is of course mithya. And the thought that occurred in my mind is also mithya. Because the thought is going to go away after some time. So thought is mithya. That is called Shabda Anuviddha Samadhi. Look at that. Shabda Anuviddha Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. Believe it or not, it's called Nirvikalpaka Samadhi. Shabda Anuviddha means what? Whatever word I hear, I process it. I see it as mithya. I see it as mithya. And that mithya is resolved into Satyam. Every word. Now I don't have to worry about this quiet sound and all that. Whatever sound is there, I process it. I appreciate it as mithya. I appreciate it as mithya. And then sometimes no sound is heard, but thoughts have come. Past thoughts have come. Some thought has come of somebody or some school that I studied in the past. Because it just comes, thoughts, there is no rhyme or reason. We can't figure out why a thought comes to our head. It comes, then you enjoy the thought. You say, okay, that also is mithya. All that was needed. But that school, that teacher, everything, friends, everything is mithya. It's all needed for a purpose, serve the purpose. And it's all Atma. It is mithya, but it is Adhishtanam is Atma. Jagan Mithya, Brahma Satyam, there also Satyam is there. In that school, Satyam is there. This is called Drishya Anuviddha Nirvikalpa Samadhi. Drishya Anuviddha means what? Drishya, that image that is there in the mind, not connected to any sound, taste, smell, or sight. Okay, that's called Drishya Anuviddha Samadhi. Like that they talk about. Vidyaranya Muni talks about in Panchadashi. So all these are there, details are there. And so, Tam Iram Indriya Dharanam Yogam iti manyante. Rishayaha yogam iti manyante. They call it yoga. They call it yoga. That is their word. That is the terminology that they use. Some rishis use that terminology. And so, Swami Paramarthanandaji finally says here, he says the entire 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is an explanation of these two mantras. Atma Samyama Yoga. Sanyama, it's all talking about Sanyama. Indriya Dharana is Sanyama, Indriya Sanyama. And so, that entire 6th chapter is an unfoldment of mantras, this 10 and 11 of the Kathopanishad. So, we can appreciate that. Tada apramattaha, there is a word called apramattaha. Okay. So, at that point, apramattaha, undistracted. Person is undistracted. Only an alarm can distract the person to remind the person that time's up, there are other things to do. Even a sannyasi will have other things to do. And so let them do. We're not trying to create a make-believe system. Do what you have to do. And so time's up. So until then, apramattaha. Then afterwards also apramattaha. First, during Nididhyasanam, Apramattaha, then entire day can be Nididhyasana. Yes or no? Possible. Possible. Yeah. So we need to entertain that possibility. All right. So let's read the Bhaashyam. Tam idrishim tadavastham.
ताम् ईदृशीं तदवस्थाम्.
So I think in the previous shloka you had in the notebook Viparita Bhavanam Nivritti Eva Nididhyasana Phalam, etc. was there, no? So that's a commentary that's coming from somewhere. I don't know where it's coming from. And so that we didn't read because it is not part of the Bhashya. Okay. All right. Tam idrishim tadavastham
ताम् ईदृशीं तदवस्थाम्
yogam iti manyante
योगम् इति मन्यन्ते.
viyogam eva santam
वियोग एवं सन्तम्
sarvanartha samyoga
सर्वानर्थ संयोग
viyoga lakshana
योग लक्षणा
hi ayam avastha yoginah.
हि अयम् अवस्था योगिनः.
Sorry, hi iyam avastha yoginah.
इयम् अवस्था योगिनः.
Etasyam hi
एतस्यां हि
avasthayam
अवस्थायाम्
avidya adhyaropana
अविद्या अध्यारोपण
varjita,
वर्जित
or varjitaha is better. Varjitaha parupa pratishthaha
स्वरूप प्रतिष्ठः
atma
आत्मा
hiram indriyadharanam
स्थिराम् इन्द्रियधारणाम्
hiram achalam
स्थिराम् अचलाम्
indriyadharanam
इन्द्रियधारणाम्
बाह्यांतः करणानां
बाह्यन्तः करणानाम्
धारणाम् इत्यर्थः.
धारणाम् इत्यर्थः.
Yeah. So we'll look at this indriya dharanam first. Stiram indriya dharanam. And then we'll come back to the tam yogam. So the second quarter we'll look at first. Stiram indriya dharanam is mentioned by Yamadharmaraja. So Shankaracharya says Stiram achalam. Stiram is achalam, an unmoving mind and buddhi is equal to indriya dharanam bahyantah karananam dharanam ityartha. Okay, that we understand. Bahya antah karanam. So bahyanam api. So bahya refers to what? Hey, all the sense organs, because they are operating. Operating, their field of operation is outside the body. Even though they are inside the body, their operation, their objects are all outside the body. And also karmendriyani. What is karmendriyani? All this vakpani padam payu pasthani. So organs of action like speech and hands, legs, etc. They are, of course, they are not operating. They are not operating, not operating. So bahya, bahya. So bahya sthit indriyani. Okay. So antakarananam indriya dharanam dharanam iti arthaha. Shankaracharya is giving that. So here a reference will come. You go back to sixth chapter. Look at the 12 and 13. Okay. You look at 12. You will see tatraikagram manah kritva yata chittendriyah kriyah. Then next mantra number 13. samam kaya shiro grivam dharayan achalan sthiraha. So dharayan, so dharanam, that Shankaracharya is reminding us that this particular mantra, achalam sthiraha, all these words are there in that mantra. Tam prekshanasika gram swam visasjanavalokayan avalokayan. So bahya antakarananam sthiram dharanam ityartha. So he's giving the meaning of dharanam. And so, yeah, Maniprabha says Laya Vikshepa Kashaya Rasa Aswadadi Vignaihi Akampyam. So I'll explain this. Maniprabha's commentary. She's saying, Amaradas, he's saying a mind which is free from what? Laya. He's giving so many words. Laya. Laya means what? Laya means sleep. I also had moksha. What kind of moksha? Sleep moksha. Oh, you have to sit and this one and all you have to do. I had a better moksha, in fact. I was lying down and I got moksha. Okay, that's the way we should argue. So, laya, free from laya. A state that is free from laya. And then vikshepa. Vikshepa means all these other thoughts, unwanted thoughts. It's called vikshepa. And then kashaya. Kashaya is a type of unwanted thought. It's some past is coming and hitting me. Remember, all the past unprocessed emotions are all sitting in the subconscious, waiting to come out. When will they come out? Exactly when you don't want them to come out, it will come out. That is the rule. That is the rule. And now is a beautiful time when subconscious saying, there's no pressure at all. Pressure cooker mein upar wo to valve nikal diya. So now it comes. It's called kashaya. And then rasa. Rasa. Rasa means, you know what? Hey, when this meditation is going well, then suddenly you begin to enjoy it. Ah, I've not meditated like this in a long time. Wow, this is what meditation is. This is what Guruji has been talking about. And this is called rasa. No, no, don't do all that. Don't worry about who talked about and all. Just you follow the process. Rasa. Then aswada. Aswada is enjoying that rasa. Yesterday also I had it. Today I'm getting it. I think this is good. And this kind of, okay, you can pat your back periodically. Nothing wrong with that. But aswada means seeking that experience more and more and more. Okay. Then the problem will be my samsara previously was Rasagulla samsara. Now this meditation samsara will start. So that is called aswada. Then vignaihi. These are all obstacles. Vignas, he says. Maniprabha says. Vignaihi akampyam. Unaffected by these kinds of obstacles. That is the sthiram indriya dharanam, right? And okay, that is that part we covered. Now we'll come back to the first part of the bhashya, which is tam yogam iti manyante. Tam sthiram indriya dharanam, that particular state, yogam iti manyante. The rishis call it as yoga. This is their meaning of yoga. Yogam iti manyante. Idrishim tadavastham. Idrishim, this kind of meditation that has been described in the previous mantra, and that you already know from the Bhagavad Gita, that tam avastham, tadavastham. Tadavastham means that that state of mind, buddhi avastham, or indriya avastham, because indriyani is mentioned, and so indriya avastham, this kind of idrishim, this kind of is called yoga. We will call it what? Nididhyasanam. We can even give a name. Swamiji calls it Vedanta Samadhi. Vedanta Samadhi. Because everybody knows Samadhi. They know Samadhi. So we have to give a different name for it. So Vedanta Samadhi or Jnana Samadhi. Because it's different. It's not simply blankness, silence. thoughtlessness, shunyam. Any word you can give for this, because nothing. There's nothing. There's not even a single thought. But no, you can entertain thoughts. You must entertain the thoughts of this Vedanta Upadesha, the teaching. Otherwise, it's called what? Yogi Samadhi, the typical Yogi Samadhi, called Andha Samadhi. We call it Andha Samadhi. Andha Samadhi. Blankness. And so, what is the problem with blankness? See, blankness, there is no thinker, there is no thought about object, and there is no thought. This triputi is not there. No pramata, no prameya, no prama. Nothing is there. Triputi, that threefold dichotomy is not there. That is samadhi avastha. And the problem with it's an advaita avastha. Correct? Because triputi is not there, duality is not there, dvaitam is not there. Therefore, the avastha is advaita. But jnanam of this person, no advaita jnanam. Advaita jnanam nasti. Advaita avastha, even in Shushupti, I have advaita avastha. Every day I have advaita avastha. I don't need to struggle and work hard and do this thing and come to this thoughtless state, because thoughtless state is there in Sushupti also. Okay, Sushupti, I'm asleep. Here I'm awake. That's a difference, all right? But Advaita Jnanam is not there. Therefore, we call it Andha Samadhi. The thoughtless state without knowledge is Andha Samadhi. There's some technicalities here, right? And so, how do you know it is Andha Samadhi? Even Patanjali says that Ashtanga Yoga is a preparation, even though many levels of preparation are there. Lot of detail is given, my goodness. And he says, Yogaha Chitta Vritti Nirodhaha. Preparatory, very important. Important. All these are very important, but preparatory. He himself says that. And therefore, we have to accept that. And so, iti manyante rishayaha. This particular state is called yogaha. Iti manyante. And then, look at this. This is Shankaracharya. This is Advaita shining. Viyogam santam. Viyogam eva santam. Hey, yoga means union. You ask anybody what yoga is. Either they will say Hatha Yoga, and then that's all they know. Or little bit advanced knowledge will be there, yoga, union. Union of the Jiva with Ishvara. Is what yoga is. The human being, the Jiva, merges with Ishvara. Correct? That is yoga. That is a popular definition of yoga. And so Shankaracharya is saying, they call it yoga even though it is viyoga. Even though it is dissociation, there is no association at all. Why there is no association? There can't be an association between Jiva and Ishvara. Why?
There's no duality.
There's no duality. If there are two things, we can say two of them have to be brought together. We can agree that. Two coaches of the train have to be brought together and then tied up like this so you can make a train. But if there is no two things, then where is the question of yoga? Then what is yoga all about? So yoga is all over Bhagavad Gita also. Yoga is there. So much yoga is going on. Yeah, so much yoga is going on. For the sake of yoga, only so much yoga is going on. Yoga means what? Dissociation. Dissociation is what? Hey, I have taken myself to be what I'm not. My body, Deha Vimana is there, Ankara is there. I've taken myself to be the mind. Whatever thought happens in me is me. Hey, I am not the thought. The thought is me, but I am not the thought. The thought is Vidya. I am the observer of sorrow. What about pain? What about arthritis pain? Arthritis pain, you are able to see or not see? Yeah, that means you are the observer of arthritis pain. You have to put up with that. Yes, it's difficult, agree. But I am not subject to pain. I am not subject to sorrow. Atma is not subject to sorrow. That means what? There is a dissociation. Dissociation. Shall we look at there is a particular shloka in Bhagavad Gita, right? Look at 623. 623, if you have the book. Okay. Look at this. If you have that, tam vidya dukkha samyoga viyogam yoga samyitam. Yoga samyitam. Samyitam is yoga is defined as, Krishna is saying this, okay? Yoga is defined as yoga samyitam. What is the definition of this yoga? Dukkha samyoga viyogam. Hey, I'm so associated with the happenings of this body and mind that I take whatever happens here as the reality, and therefore dukkham. This dukkham and I are just associated, like they're inseparable. They're inseparable. And so it's time to get out of this yoga. And get out means viyoga. How can I get out? Can you give me a trick to unknot this thing? There's only one trick. What is that trick?
Nididhyasana.
Yasanam.
Nididhyasanam, jnana. Nididhyasanam cannot give me moksha. Remember, I told you that. Nididhyasanam is a way, its a purpose is what? Viparita bhavana nivritti. No knowledge comes. Knowledge is already obtained in Shravanam and Mananam. Therefore, jnanam eva, moksha. And so, that is the only way to do the viyoga. But yes, Nididhyasanam makes the process, facilitates the process. Dissociation. That is only maximum, that is only dissociation. A mithya association. Suppose I see, you save me from the snake. Suppose somebody says. You have to stand, you have to go to Bangalore, go knock on the doors of Narayanan and Veera, ask them to teach you Shirshasana. Only then the snake will go. Hey, there is no Shirshasana required for anything, really speaking. For your body well-being and all, good, keep doing it. But then no karma is going to remove this. Dissociation cannot happen through karma. It will happen only through jnana. You have to know that it's a rope. That's all. That is the only way you can dissociate from that snake. Because there was never any association to begin with. Association is self-created. And so, viyogam eva santam. Look at how important that phrase is. Okay? So, that is there. So, viyogameva santam. The real process, still, despite real process being viyoga, the rishis call it yoga. Okay, that's the way to understand that sentence. Okay, sarvanartha, etc. We have some more left here. Okay. Sarva anartha samyoga viyoga lakshana hi iyam avastha yoginaha. Same thing, whatever I explained to you. Yoginaha avastha, the state of the yogi, of the yogis, yoginaha avastha, okay, iyam, is what? Lakshana is characterized by viyoga, dissociation of what? Sanyoga, of the association. Association with what? Sarvanartha. Sarva anartha. Everything that's not good for me at all. Anartha. Nobody wants anartha. Everybody wants only artha. So, but anartha keeps coming to me. That dissociation with all raga, dvesha, sorrows, dukkha, dukkha sanyoga. There, Sri Krishna said. So, dukkha sanyoga viyoga. Dissociation with the wrong association with dukkha, sarva anartha. Look at how beautiful it is. And so, Bhagavad Gita 6:23. That is the only extrication I can do. So, etasyam hi avasthayam avidya adhyaropana vajjitaha. So, in this particular state, where the jiva is free from adhyaropana, avidya adhyaropana, like the snake is being projected, adhyaropana. And snake is projected because I don't know the adhishtana. I don't know the rope. That's why I'm projecting a snake. And so, avidyaya, that adhyaropana, that projection that is caused by avidya, varjitaha, absent, free from, in that state. That state. And what is that state? Swarupa pratishtaha atma. Atma. Atma is recognized. And what will I say? I am Atma. Swarupa pratishtaha. I finally am knowing myself. I am Atma. I am residing in Atma. Atmani eva Atmana tushtaha. Swarupa pratishtaha. Swarupa means what? My true nature. The self is, the way to translating is going to be tough. The self is or abides in its own nature. Is the jiva who's been confused about himself or herself, now finally knows himself herself. That is the meaning of Swarupa Pratishtaha Atma. So we'll come back to the remaining part of the mantra, Apramattaha, etc. in the next class. Om Apadamapahataram Dataram Sarvasampadam Lokabhiramam Shriramam Bhuyo Bhuyo Namamyaham. Om Kale Varshatu Parjanyah Prithvi Sasyashalini Desho Yam Kshobharahitah Brahmana Santu Nirbhayaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.